Yeah, I think I'm going to upload this on my new YouTube channel, so yeah, I want to give some advice today to people on how to deal with stress. When you're trying to achieve your goals in life and you're trying to build confidence, and obviously everyone's got challenges, everyone relates to that, whoever you are. So I'm going to give some really good advice from the experience that I've had and how I've got through things. So first of all, with regards to facing your fears in life and facing things that are challenging in order to get to where you want to get to in any position in life. So if you want to change your job and you want to transition and start your own business, or if you want to end relationships that you're not happy with and start new relationships, or if you want to learn to stand up for yourself more socially and build stronger personal boundaries, any changes that you want to make, it's going to be stressful. But what I found is if you just do a little bit at a time and you just take one day at a time, it really does help to reduce stress and anxiety and the pressure that you put on yourself to achieve goals and the expectations that you have. Obviously the pressure of society, the society that we live in. So you're always going to have challenges in life, no matter who you are. I think it's human nature. We always think someone else has it better than us. That could be the case, but no one escapes the fact that living comes with stress. Even when you're successful, there's a lot of stress and pressure that comes with that. If you're unsuccessful, there's stressors. So it's learning to deal by writing things down, scheduling things, breaking things down, and one step at a time. So I'll give you an example. For a lot of people, going out and facing fears and meeting new people and being more social is very frightening and stressful for people. It was for me initially when I started out doing this. But if you just break it down and say, okay, I don't have to meet 10 people in one day or every day. I can just practice maybe once a month going to people or meeting one new person for coffee every month. So you do it gradually, Anything that you want to accomplish, people always forget this. It's just a human way of thinking. There's always this panic and anxiety and impatience that need to do it now. Well, a lot of things don't work like that. And what I've found is when you've got this more positive attitude and you break things down, you actually can enjoy things more and they actually end up coming quicker. So building confidence takes time, but if you work it and you do a little bit every day, you'll see a huge improvement in your progress and your confidence. Fears. If you face some difficult things on a daily basis, things that you can manage, it will get easier. Then you'll gain more confidence and courage and you can face more difficult things. So it's learning to break things down. It's learning to organize things better instead of putting pressure on yourself that you have to build a successful business, which no successful business person in most cases has ever done that. That's not the reality of how it works. Things take time. So take the pressure off yourself. And I think where a lot of people go wrong, and where I've gone wrong, if we can even say wrong, it's all feedback, right? They say to themselves, they give themselves an ultimatum. They say either I do everything in one go or I don't do it at all. And what people tend to do is they get so overwhelmed when they think about taking on their challenges or their goals or their fears, they end up backing out and not doing anything. And then when you don't do anything, you beat yourself up, you get stressed out even more. So always do something, even if it's a little step towards your goal, and that will take the pressure and stress off. That will free you up psychologically, mentally, emotionally. So that's how I always approach things in life that I want to achieve. It works for me in every area. It can work for you 100%. Whatever I want to do, I want to achieve. If it's overwhelming, I'll just break it down into manageable steps and just do a little bit at a time until I can accomplish the whole thing, rather than telling myself I have to do all of it in one go when it's too scary, it's too mentally, emotionally overwhelming and taxing. So you can pretty much apply this to anything, and you get there in the end. It happens quick enough, rather than putting pressure on yourself, which is just gonna ruin your mental health. It's gonna make you unhappy and can possibly make you sick. So one step at a time. one step at a time, do a little bit each day, and I'm telling you, man, you'll thank me for this advice at some point in your life, because this works. All those little bits of action you do every day, they may not feel like a lot, but after 6 months, you try as a person and you'll accomplish your goal, because you were just pieces. And the idea is, well, it's not an idea, it's factual, but the idea I'm trying to share with people so they can implement it is, this is the process of building confidence and building success and changing and improving yourself and, you know, changing your predicament in life, whatever that is. You do it gradually. All successful people do this. People forget. They compare themselves to successful people and think, oh, they're better than me, I'm not good enough. Well, no. You know, they had the courage to take action. They worked hard. They applied themselves, and you can do the same. You can achieve anything pretty much. And if you put the work in and you take the action, like I said, and you do it on a daily basis, you know, you keep it up, you do a little bit at a time, eventually you would have fully accomplished your goal. So it's great advice. It works. I've applied this to so many different things in my life, because the other way never worked for me. Ended up making me get so fearful and overwhelmed that I would just talk myself out of taking any action, and I wouldn't do anything. And then you end up complaining about things are not changing for you and you're not happy, but it's because you're not putting in the effort. You're not taking the practical action that you need to take. So it takes pressure off, it makes it fun, it makes you enjoy the process. So this is the educational part on the channel of educating people so they can understand fear more, break it down and conquer it and use it to a positive effect. So let me just give some more examples in my life. I hear a lot of people go through it. I remember years ago where I was doing a job and I wasn't happy in the job. And I knew I wasn't going to stay there. I didn't like the job, I didn't like the way I was being treated. And it felt so difficult to get out of that predicament, because it was frightening. I was like, oh, if I leave this, I won't have any money, what am I going to do? And I was getting myself stressed out. But I came to the solution which worked. I had a game plan. You know, I was going to do it gradually. I wasn't just going to quit straight away. I saved some money, worked there a bit longer. I had to put up with, you know, an unpleasant experience, but I knew it wasn't going to be forever. And eventually, I did set my own time, and I became successful with my business, and I worked for myself. Became my own boss, which was great. So that's an example. Another example was when I first started out my YouTube channel. Initially, I was like, oh, I've got no one watching me, I've got to get this channel big, you know, and then I realised, no, it's going to take time. I can't put pressure on myself, I can't just expect, you know, in one day to go viral. Obviously it can happen, but it's not going to happen in every situation. So I realised that. So what I started to do is, I just focus on relaxing more, enjoying the process, focusing on one video at a time, you know, helping people to solve a particular problem in that video that I would do each day, or every week, sorry. And eventually I was like, oh, wow, 50 subscribers. Oh, 100 subscribers. That's nice. Oh, one comment under the video from America. Oh, nice. Another comment from England. Oh, fantastic. Oh, another comment from India. Oh, a comment from Italy. Wow, a lot of people are appreciating my work. It was, and then, oh, okay, 6 months has gone. Oh, 200 subscribers. Oh, a year's gone. 1,000 subscribers. And eventually, oh, 4,000 subscribers. 5,000. Another year. Then 20,000 and 30,000, 32. It took time. And I just, one step at a time. And when I first made my first ever video, I was nervous, of course, speaking in front of the camera. I couldn't speak properly without stuttering. I kept making mistakes. I was trying too hard, right, to impress, to get it right. And I thought, hang on a minute, let me slow down. Let me just practice bit by bit. I don't even need to upload the video. No, it doesn't matter. I can make many mistakes as I want. Let me just learn how to say my name on camera, you know, how to say the first couple of words. So I did that. I persevered, I did a little bit until I could get more comfortable. And where I could speak for around 1 minute, I could speak for about a minute or two, and then I would run out of things to say and I'd have to stop the camera. I continued to practice every week, and eventually for 20 minutes straight, half an hour straight, an hour straight, now I could speak for hours. But that came through a little bit at a time. Not all in one go, which is what everyone generally tries to do and why they fail in life. They try to do everything or they don't do anything because of that negative ultimatum. So this is intelligent, believe me. This is what I would call intelligent, inspired, motivated action. Even the great way that I speak. I'm a really good speaker, but I had to practice to get to this level, and I'm still developing. But from where I started, you wouldn't recognize me. So you won't recognize yourself in a positive transformational way if you practice doing a little bit at a time every day, even half an hour a day, an hour a day. When you feel more confident and you're more enthusiastic, then you can put more effort in, you can take bigger risks. So this has been probably the best advice I could ever give anyone, young, old, who wants to do something in their life where they have to put some effort in building a business, relationships. Same with getting a girlfriend. Many years ago when I was single and I was struggling with shyness and anxiety, a lot of fear about relationships, battling with my own inner demons. So I started, okay, maybe getting a girlfriend's putting too much pressure on myself. That's what I want, that's my end goal. I'd like to get a relationship, but let me just first learn how to say hello to women and be myself and be social and do a few exercises. So I did that. And that got easy, and eventually I could get into a long conversation with a girl, build a great, honest conversation. And then I gained some confidence, I could ask a woman out, and then eventually I got a girlfriend. So everything I've ever done that I've achieved, when I look back now and I look forward, I've always broken it down into small, manageable, practical action steps, and I've always done a little bit every day or every other day, but I've always been consistent. So it is important that you're consistent. You have to practice consistently to get good at what you want to achieve and master it and gain the confidence to become an expert or, become as good as you can in what you want to do. So this really does take massive amounts of pressure off, because then you're like, well, today I don't have to do 20 things. I've only got to do one thing. But it adds up, believe me, before you know it. What other examples could I give? Yeah, running events, doing public speaking. I mean, the thought of that would have made me pass out with fear years ago, because public speaking was probably my number one fear, other than swimming with great white sharks. And I'm not planning to do that anytime soon. You never know. So I broke it down. I went to other people's events first, just to kind of get a feel of what it feels like again to be in a big group of people and to watch another speaker do it. So I'm in there in person, get a bit of inspiration and just to give me some motivation. Then I set up my own conference, my own talk, where I spoke in front of a smaller group of people, which was overwhelming for me, but manageable when I pushed myself. Then when that got easier, I would do that several times more, a couple of times a week. And then I start to add a few more people until I could speak in front of a bigger audience. So it's always gradual. And people, like I said before, they forget this. Sometimes I forget this. They think they got to do it all in one go. Or if they don't do it all in one go, then they're not good enough. And it's not, doesn't mean that. It's not that you're not good enough. You are good enough. It's that, your game plan's wrong. Your strategy's wrong. There's too much pressure. It's too much for anyone to ask. So, great leaders, people that inspire people, they learn these tools and skills over a period of time. So patience. You have to learn the value and the benefit for your own good of patience. And that doesn't mean you just sit around, do nothing. No, you work very hard, of course. So that's another example. Another great way I'm doing it now is to go for a walk in the park. Always found nature. I've done this since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. My dad used to take me out on walks when I was younger, probably in the genes. And I know many of you do this. You can let me know in the box below. Going for a walk in the park, relaxing, clearing your head, de-stressing, getting a game plan together, getting a good strategy, a practical strategy, some accountability, so you can start working on the changes that you want to make in your life. And as I said, this goes right across the board, the videos. It doesn't have to necessarily be for someone that wants to run a successful business. You can apply this to life. If you've got a lot of stress in your life, then learn to compartmentalize it by breaking it down so you can get it done. The same way I do a job. If someone sent me on a job and there were like 8 things I had to do, that's overwhelming. So I would focus on, let me just start off and do the first thing. Let me get that out of the way. That's what I did when I was an apprentice, when I was a labourer, when I was training to be a carpenter. When I worked out on site, I was an apprentice. I was basically a T-boy learning. So they would give me tasks to do, and I did get overwhelmed and scared back then, but I would break it down and go, well, let me just do the first bit, the easy bit first, what I need to do, whether it's, making the tea or taking the rubbish out or maybe carrying a bucket with wood or cement, just to give me some confidence, get me relaxed, get me focused. This helps you to get focused more. So I will do that. And when I first got my job at Royal Mail and I was a postman, first day I was overwhelmed. So obviously they knew that. They gave very good training. But I broke it down. There were so many different letters that I had to organise when I was a postman. There was lots of different addresses I had to go to. And I was overwhelmed at the start when I did that job and nervous. I was going out of this big responsibility. I got the Queen's Mail. So I'd say, hang on a minute. I've got about 500 envelopes that I'm carrying. I've got to deliver these letters. Let me just focus on the first letter in the door. I'm not going to think about 500 letters because that's going to give me a breakdown of stress. Let me put the first letter through the door. The first letter I put through the door, oh, thank God, I felt such relief. I could relax a little bit more. Then I put the second letter in the door. Then after the third, fourth, I thought my confidence would come. I'd get into a positive state. So this philosophy, if it's a philosophy, if it's psychology, practical psychology that I'm sharing and teaching today, on this is a stream I'm doing on my group. I'm going to put this on my YouTube channel. I want to help a lot of people to distress themselves. You can apply this to anything in life. If you're a student and you're at university and you've got exams and you're stressed and you're overwhelmed, you can break things down and you can do a little bit each day. A little bit each day will take the stress. It will reduce the intimidation of the task ahead. If you're a business person and you've got lots of clients and you're stressed, you can break it down and say one client at a time. One client at a time. If you're a video vlogger and you're stressed because you want to make videos or a channel, you can say, do you know what? I'm not going to focus on 50 YouTube videos. Let me just focus on one video a day or one video a week. I'm going to put all my focus on that, one step at a time. Training, getting fit. When I did the boxing training, when I was an amateur boxer, I'd take one day at a time. Instead of putting pressure on myself, I got to get fit, I've got to put on weight, I've got to lose weight, I've got to be this, it's too much. So I'd say, let me just focus on let me just have one good day in the gym. We'll take it from there. Very good, healthy, positive psychology that works if you apply it in any area of your life, Speaking to people with social anxiety, I use this to get over my social anxiety. If I'm going to meet a group of people and I'm nervous, what are they going to think about me? What am I going to say? I'll break it down. I practice just asking a couple of questions to the first person that I can speak to in the group. I'll focus on one person at a time. I'm in a big group of people, I may be feeling nervous or self-conscious. I'm not going to pressure myself that I've got to speak to 20 people. It's too much to ask any person who's stressed. I'll speak to someone I feel comfortable in the group and I will ask them a couple of questions, and then we'll get into a conversation, and then I'll feel more relaxed and I'll get my confidence, and then I might go around and speak to another person, one step at a time. Otherwise, we try and take on 100 steps and it's too overwhelming for a human being, and it causes you stress and anxiety, and it actually sabotages you from reaching your goals. Same with the live streams. When I first started live streaming, I never done it before. One step at a time. I never thought I've got to do 100 live streams every week. No. I thought I'm just going to give it a try. Let me try a minute of this. Now I can do it, as you can see, no problem. And I'm very good at it, practice. So you watching this, you can get very good at anything you want to achieve. You can get very confident, you can be successful, you can conquer your fears if you apply the philosophy of breaking things down into small manageable steps, taking a little bit of action each day or every other day so you don't burn yourself out, and building up. So the first day, you're going to do a little bit of effort. By day 30, you're not going to recognize yourself. By 6 months, by 2 years, by 5 years, you transform. So I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like this page, share this page, subscribe to my new channel, Become Fearless, which is all about educating, inspiring, motivating, giving people the tools so they can conquer their fears in their life, so they can become fearless, confident, be themselves, and live a better life and so forth. Appreciate the support. I'll talk to you soon. Become fearless.